Cypriot parliament says no to the lenders' bailout deal. President Obama traveling to the Middle East, Israel the first stop. I'm Ray Kugel reporting from Washington. The Cypriot parliament overwhelmingly rejected a $13 billion bailout plan demanded by international lenders. It would have taxed the savings accounts of depositors at the island nation's banks. The vote leaves the fate of the bailout in question and is raising the possibility that the Cypriot government could default on its financial obligations. And there are fears it might even end its membership in the 17-nation euro currency union. President Obama is heading to Israel, first stop of a 4-day Middle East visit. White House correspondent Dan Robinson has this preview.
Mr. Obama is not carrying any new peace initiative on the Israel-Palestinian conflict. That has led some commentators to describe the visit as largely symbolic. In a speech at Jerusalem's International Conference Center on Thursday, he's expected to cite his record of strong support for Israel and its security. But Mr. Obama also is expected to say that breaking the stalemate in peace efforts to achieve a two-state solution is becoming even more critical amid sweeping changes in the Arab world. Dan Robinson, VOA News, the White House.
President Obama is also expected to talk about Iran and Syria. He will stop in Jordan, where the United States has been helping officials cope with the flood of Syrian refugees. Syria's government and rebels have accused each other of carrying out an apparent chemical attack, in which more than 20 people were killed in a town near the northern city of Aleppo. The government says a rocket struck Khan al-Assal Tuesday, sending poisonous gases into the air and killing 25 people. It claims rebels fired the rocket from Aleppo's opposition to Nairab district. Rebels deny firing the missile and blaming it on forces loyal to the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. More than a dozen bombings have hit mainly Shiite areas in and around Iraq's capital, Baghdad, killing at least 50 people. It's one of the country's deadliest days in months. The wave of bombings happened on the eve of the 10th anniversary of the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq. Authorities in Saudi Arabia have arrested 18 people, including an Iranian and a Lebanese, for alleged spying. The other 16 suspects are Saudis. They were arrested during raids in 4 regions across the country. Officials say the alleged spies collected information on vital locations and installations for an unnamed foreign country. Pope Francis was officially installed Tuesday in front of a crowd of about 150,000 onlookers, including political leaders from 130 nations and representatives from a variety of religions. VOA's Al Pessin was there.
On a sunny spring morning, Pope Francis led the outdoor mass to mark the beginning of his papacy. After receiving the symbols of his office, including his papal ring, he addressed what he called all those who have positions of responsibility in economic, political, and social life. The Pope urged leaders to protect nature and all people, particularly the poorest. He said leadership and power are really about service, and that even the Pope should be lowly, concrete, and faithful. Al Pessin, VOA News, Vatican City.
An explosion during a training exercise killed 7 U.S. Marines and wounded 7 others in a military ammunition storage facility in the western U.S. state of Nevada. The explosion occurred late Monday during a Marine training exercise at the Hawthorne Army Depot. The cause is under investigation. The 60,000-hectare military facility is used for storing ammunition and other military equipment. A South Korean official says the UN Human Rights Council is likely to adopt a resolution this week to establish an independent commission to investigate rights violations in North Korea. Human rights advocacy groups have long called for international efforts to stop North Korean rights abuses, thought to be among the worst in the world. In Zimbabwe, voters overwhelmingly approved a new constitution that curbs the powers of the president and paves the way for new elections. The new charter imposes a presidential term limit of 2 5-year terms, although longtime President Robert Mugabe, who's 89, would be allowed to seek office again. Other changes include more rights for women and a scaling back of the death penalty to exempt women, the young, and the elderly. I'm Ray Kugel, VOA News. There's more on the Internet at voanews.com.